baby.
Enjoy this great game.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Humm Baby Baseball channel. This is Eric, and today we got massive news. The San Diego Padres are finalizing a deal with the Rays, and they are going to pick up an elite pitcher by the name of Blake Snell. This is huge for the Padres and Padres fans. Remember, the Padres were already excellent in 2020, and they're about to be even more excellent despite the injury and the surgery to Mike Clevenger. They're picking up an absolute elite pitcher right here. They had to give up a little bit to get him, and we're going to talk about that. But I think right away, this is very scary, especially for fans of other teams in the NL West besides the Dodgers and the Padres, who are both very scary teams. It makes the Padres even more scary and even a lot closer to that Dodgers team. And this is crazy right here. The Padres, they got it done. Unbelievable. And as for the Rays, they are going to be picking up some prospects and a couple guys who've already had big league experience. And one of them is strikeout machine LUIS Patino. He was San Diego's third prospect, and this is huge for the Rays because they are getting a guy who can possibly replace Snell and be very good at the big league level. And they're also picking up Francisco Mejia, who is a guy who can catcher, pinch hit, and as well as two very young prospects in Blake Hunt, who is also a catcher, and Cole Wilcox, who was just drafted, and he absolutely dominated in 2020 with Georgia. So this guy could end up being a very good big leaguer. And obviously the Rays were looking at him. They probably were thinking of drafting him. They couldn't get him. The Padres drafted him, but now the Rays got him in their system. So the Rays got two youngsters who could be great down the line. They got a guy who is a catcher who is a very serviceable big leaguer. And then they got LUIS Patino, who could end up being elite. We don't know, but he definitely looks good. Even though he gave up some runs in 2020, he had a very tiny sample size, and he still struck out well more than a guy per inning. So I think the Rays, and the Rays, you can't really question the Rays because they're the Rays. They know what they're doing with these things. Even when trades look terrible, you're like, oh man, the Rays lost that deal. Then 2 years later, you're like, the Rays won that deal. So I can't really question the Rays. You got to trust their process. I mean, they just played in the World Series against the Dodgers, and they gave the Dodgers almost everything they wanted. And yeah, it didn't turn out, they didn't end up winning at the end. The Dodgers won, but I think the Rays really, they stood toe-to-toe with the Dodgers. And we're talking about a team with a very small payroll. So the Rays know what they're doing. I can't question the Rays. And the Padres know what they're doing too. They've made some great deals lately. They still have Tommy Pham, who they got from the Rays. And we're going to take a look at the Padres and their entire team really quick because I want to see what we're dealing with here. And like I mentioned, Mike Clevenger, obviously he won't be ready, but he's coming back at some point. Nelson Lamet, he hasn't pitched a full season, but Lamet is going to be elite. I mean, the dude is just sick. He is absolutely amazing. So you're going to have Lamet and Snell at the top of that rotation. Then you got Zach Davies, Chris Paddock, very solid. And also Mackenzie Gore's in the system, and he's going to come up at some point, and he's a strikeout machine. This Padres rotation is going to be absolutely sick, especially if Chris Paddock can find what he had a couple years ago when he was really good for the Padres. I mean, not that he's not good, he's still solid, but this rotation could potentially be absolutely just practically unhittable. So you have to really be scared, like I said, if you're a fan of another team in the NL West besides the Padres and besides the Dodgers, because the Dodgers are going to continue to be really good. Not that I'm not confident in my Giants, but man, the Padres, and you got this bullpen here: Drew Pomeranz, Emilio Pagan, Tim Hill, a lot of solid pitchers here: Dan Altavilla, Pierce Johnson, Javi Guerra, Matt Strom, so on and so forth. So Craig Stammen, Adrian Morejon, and Austin Adams. A lot of really solid arms in the pen. Then you got Nola. You got obviously Eric Hosmer. They got veterans like Hosmer and Will Myers, and then you have youngsters like Jake Cronenworth, who had an unbelievable rookie year, and then you got absolute superstars like Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis Jr. You got Tommy Pham, who I mentioned. You got Trent Grisham, who they got in a trade. Man, the Padres have been wheeling and dealing lately, and they have really made themselves good. And Jorge Mateo, guys, who I haven't even mentioned, I mean, they are really stacked, not to mention some good talent themselves, because obviously they must have some good talent, because LUIS Patino is only ranked number 3, meaning they got 2 prospects higher ranked than LUIS Patino. So obviously this Padres team, they're in it to win it. They are in it to win it. And like I said, I can't wait for 2021. And I know how baseball goes. Anything can happen in this game. So I'm always excited. I'm still hoping the Giants have a few tricks up their sleeve or something for the rest of this offseason, and we can make some moves. So I haven't given up hope there. But you got to love this. Padres, if you're a Padres fan, I should say. But you got to love it if you're a Padres fan. I mean, you just really improved your rotation. Maybe not. Correct me if I'm wrong. Could be some Padres fans who are like, hey, man, we're giving up a lot. We're giving up 2 really good young prospects and LUIS Patino. But you're getting Blake Snell, who looked awesome all the way up until the end of 2020. So there's no reason to think he's going to come out in 2021 and suck. I mean, you got him for 3 years, too. Because the Rays had control for 3 more years, which is, I think, why they pulled the trigger now, because they knew they could maximize his value. But at the same time, could they have gotten more? It kind of feels like maybe. But Patino, again, Patino is sick. So I think that both sides did well here. I think both sides did well. And we're going to find out, in the long run what happens. Like I said, you can't doubt the Rays. But damn, the Padres. Look out for the Padres. They are seriously looking to compete for the Dodgers for a division title in 2021. But they are definitely going to be in the playoffs. At least they're going to be favored to be in the playoffs as at least a wild card. So, wow, especially if there's some kind of weird expanded playoffs again. We'll have to wait and see how things go. But, guys, let me know what you think down below of this move. I had to talk about it. Huge move for the Padres and a huge move for the Rays as well, with a young, solid pitcher in LUIS Patino who could be really good, and then they'll trade him down the road and keep the cycle going as they try to win a World Series championship for Tampa Bay. So you guys have a great day. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed to Humm Baby Baseball. Hit the thumbs up button as well. And we got to talk to you later. See ya!
When the Giants come to town, it's bye-bye, baby. Every time the chips are down, it's bye-bye, baby. History's in the making at Oracle Park.